Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why there's no such coaching program like my coaching program. Reason why is because I've designed it myself during the last 9 years that I've been a coach, and also because nobody, no planet, Earth coach who spends as much time with and on their clients like I do. 2 to 3 times per week, I rendezvous with all of my clients that are in my coaching. You have the choice between the standard package of 2 to 3 times per week, like I said, and the deluxe package, which consists of 3 mandatory sessions. And in between, you have access to me via email, text, and audio messages that have to be 5 minutes max. This is the most hand-holding possible available on the internet that I offer for somebody who really needs it. You can start out with this package, and then maybe on month 2, you can choose the standard package, okay? But I recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me in order to cover my coaching program, and in order for me to be able to say I left you in a good place. For some people, it's a little bit more. For some people, 2 months is enough. But on average, 2 to 3 months. All right. So I'm very meticulous in my coaching. I cover your history. We process your past. And then and only then I embark on this journey of manifesting your new life. I do it this way so that it's permanent and so that I'm the last coach that you'll ever need. Okay, I take great pride in being very meticulous in my coaching, re-listening to the sessions, okay, sometimes twice. My sessions are an hour long, and so I want to take notes by hand after each session, because the first time around, I want to just obviously hear everything you have to say and don't take as many notes. Once I do re-listen and take the notes, a lot more is revealed to me. The first time around, I just pick up on the information, and later on the emotions, and my intuition tells me how I'm going to conduct this coaching. So a lot goes into it. I channel also my advice and coaching. I made no secret of it. I channel everything on my channel. And this is why I will never exhaust my teachings. Now, for those of you who are new, I no longer create deeply informational content on my channel. I created almost 2 months ago now a subscription that is called Monthly Audios, Magic and Miracles Monthly Audios. This is an entry-level coaching package. The links are below. If you want to, so to speak, test drive my teaching or / coaching, you can do that, or just in addition to coaching as well. I've never recorded material like that, nor will I ever for my channel. This is very in-depth conversation about maneuvering energy work, magic spells, remote viewing, you name it, specific people. So these are 15 audios per month that you'll get every other day, and you'll need to renew the subscription, okay? So additionally, the new package is Magic Spells Academy, and this is for conversations dedicated specifically to somebody who wants to learn about that. However, I will say this is for somebody advanced, okay? So you would have to have already had done the work on your beliefs. Otherwise, this is not going to work for you. All right. In order to be in my coaching, you need to pre-book or book the hour and then discuss what you need to work on, and then I can apply it to your monthly. If you have any questions, email me. Okay, so I actually wasn't going to record today at all. But I could not talk it down. I was inspired like hours ago, but I was busy doing something. And finally couldn't tuck it down. Like, I might as well record right now, because when I'm inspired is the right time to record. So I was thinking about the live that we had the other day, yesterday. And thank you so much to everybody who showed up. Very interesting questions as usual. And this is what really came to mind, okay? This is why people also do not manifest as they should. Because all of you are already great manifestors. It's just that the quality of manifestations has to really rise, right? I'll give you 4 things. This is gold, if I do say so myself. Number one thing is suffering comes from being limited in your thinking. And this applies to, I keep coming back around to this subject of how people promote manifestations should be achieved and thought of out there. I find I have a very different point of view. All right. And what I mean by that is that I think most people out there, they have this really, oh my God, sterile is the word, understanding of how manifestation should work and how, you should blame yourself if you're not achieving instant results, and how if something unwanted showed up in your reality, it's also kind of like guilt tripping you. And it's very unpleasant. So the expectation essentially is completely unrealistic of you being 24/7 happy, which is crazy to have this expectation, and to really bottle down your emotions that are negative and just to keep on tracking through life like this. This is a recipe for disaster. How I know this for a fact is because since, becoming a coach on YouTube 2 years ago, having coached, for 7 years outside YouTube, this never came up with my clients before. Only YouTube promotes this kind of bullshit. And I love YouTube. It's not that the YouTube specifically promotes it. It's a lot of people on YouTube. Let's just say it like that. Love you, YouTube, to the moon and back. Have to always say that. But the thing is, that is completely bogus and untrue. Okay? My point of view in manifestation is use everything to your advantage. And use everything as information. Use everything as a school, as a lesson. Derive pleasure out of those lessons. If you can get to that level, you have it made. I mean, you have it made, my darling. What else can I say? If you're in the zone, this absolutely sterile, moronic, pedestrian, stupid point of view of, I gotta affirm my way out of a situation. I have to blame myself for the so-called non-manifestation or manifesting something undesirable. You ain't going anywhere with this. You're going to be stuck in this loop for like forever. My coaching is designed in a very humanistic way. I'm ever so interested in everything you've got to say, number one. Number two, not to dwell on the negative, but to be very interested. There's a difference in dwelling in negativity and being ever so interested in what information it has to give you. Treating it as such empowers you, makes you very powerful, very fucking powerful, because you don't treat it as an attack on you. You don't treat it as a direct reflection on who you are. Who you are is a god. Who you are is the creator of different things that you're learning about. And that's the fun of it, if you ask me. There's no fucking fun in the reality being always perfect. Holy shit, bananas. Can you even imagine what that would be like? Some sterile fucking world where everything goes right? Oh my God, that would be boring. And you would learn nothing. And can I tell you this right now? Listen, I have had so many weird experiences in my sleep, traveling to other realities, etc. And by now, I know I'm not alone. By far, I'm not alone. In thinking those are real worlds. And the objective is always to learn, not to make everything perfect. So let up on yourself would be job one, and stop thinking in these limited ways that the goal is perfection. No, the goal is to be content with what you have now, and yes, always working for more. And if challenges come up, okay, working through them with pleasure as much as you can learning things. Okay, some things, yes, are really irritating and this and that, but if you know underneath it all that you're God's child, if you want to, put it this way, universe's child, that you're protected, that the universe has your back, that you're, looked after and nothing will fucking go wrong, that you'll never be able to find a way out, then it's a different story. Okay. 2 would be thinking the universe is against you is bogus. A lot of people are convinced that this is so. This is why being so hard on yourself. If I'm not perfect, I'm not being loved. How much sense does this make again? It's almost like, kind of like a child that's coming off of a really abusive kind of like situation in childhood. Okay, you got to relax a little bit. You got to really pour in the energy into understanding who you are. Again, I have a very humanistic approach. What makes you happy? Okay, what makes you you? What makes you unique? Okay, and understanding that the universe is 100% on your side. It wants you to be happy, just the way you are. Even if you made mistakes in the past and now you want to correct them, universe gives you the chance to do so. If you have a track record of abusing people, even, okay, universe also gives you a chance to come clean about this and correct your behavior. However, if you're just going to keep on trucking in that manner, forget it. Like you're going to, what goes around comes around, essentially. But if you're conscientious of your actions and you understand that, if you are well-meaning person, if you just want to manifest shit that pleases you, even if it involves changing others or dropping third parties and this and that, you're still benevolent because there is no free will. The only free will that exists is yours. That's what I forgot to mention in my live. And how is that so? Because you get to choose the kind of reality that you want to occupy. And that's your free will. Everybody else's free will goes out the window then, don't you think? When you get to decide which reality you want to be in. And so if you choose the reality in which your SP leaves the third party anyway to be with you, then why not be in that fucking reality? You're not manipulating anybody. You're not hurting anybody. There's a huge misunderstanding behind this topic. And just as well, you can jump into a parallel reality where the SP is madly in love with you and always has been, even if they've told you that they don't want to be with you or whatever happened, okay? So the universe is always on your side because, first of all, even the shitty shit that you manifested as per your decision and the universe backed you up. And universe is so on your side that even worse shit could have happened and it protected you from that. So don't be fucking ungrateful and don't be so hard on yourself because in actuality, okay, universe just wants you to learn how to be God. Okay, how to be God and to produce the most amazing, magnificent, stunning manifestations and to amaze and surprise yourself at your own power, to rediscover it and use it, to the best of your ability and in the best shape or form to benefit your life to the maximum. Okay, so when you get into these situations, when you're constantly blaming yourself and feel horrible about who you are and this and that, you're not doing anybody any good, much less yourself. Primarily. And this is why your manifestations suffer. You have to make everything okay because you're always learning and you're always evolving, but you're not going to be evolving like, without any challenges or without something, quote unquote, negative happening. And I think this is the distinction that I'm making specifically in my coaching and specifically on my channel. Okay, you gotta really be gentle with yourself in terms of all this bullshit that you hear outside my channel, for the most part, is crap. Okay, nobody expects you to be perfect. What I do expect from my clients in particular is that they have to be honest about what they really feel. That's the only way to get there. if you can't be honest with yourself what you really feel, I'm asking for the opposite, okay? I'm asking for the opposite of stuffing your emotions down, okay? I'm asking for the opposite of being perfect all the time. You don't need to be perfect all the time to achieve everything you want. In fact, the opposite is true. The more in tune you are with your real emotions, real feelings, first of all, the faster the negative feelings leave you, and second, then you have a direct understanding, and you can really feel how you're affecting your reality. If you don't have this rapport, okay, this understanding, this clear connection that you can literally detect clearly between how you feel and what manifests, you're going to be really confused for a long time. And so if you're really feeling frustrated and angry and you're covering it up with affirmations or some whatever else your practice is, it's null and void. It doesn't serve anything. Okay, so drop that situation completely and start being honest about how you really feel. And eventually, what the amazing thing is, if you're really being human to yourself like this, is that eventually you'll have such a magnificent rapport between you and your emotions that the old stuff will inevitably leave and never revisit you. You will stop dragging all the shit behind you. And the last two things, actually, the third thing was freaking out way too much, right? So if you encounter something unpleasant or unwanted in your life, you start freaking out and again blaming yourself. That needs to go also. Like, can't stress this enough. Like, I'm not saying don't feel anything. Notice the difference. Again, of course you're going to feel anger in moments. Of course you're going to feel frustration. Of course you're going to feel even resentment momentarily. However, don't let it stay for too long. Okay? Freaking out, I really mean somebody who's being derailed, okay, by their own emotions into the territory of completely losing grip on what is going on and what they want to manifest. Completely losing hope in manifestation, losing hope in their own power, all this kind of thing, completely changing their mind about bringing back SP, if it's even possible, all these things. Back to square one kind of deal. It doesn't have to be this intense. However, any kind of freaking out of seeing something unwanted is kind of again, goes back to self-blame, self-depreciating talk, disappointment of self, and this and that. This is not the truth of the situation, and nor the way that you need to handle it. If you can make it all okay and make it just an experience from which you, again, learning, then it becomes a very productive situation. Okay, nobody ever told you that this life is going to be perfect, in other words. It could be close to perfect, but it also is close to perfect because you know how to deal with these situations. So the idea is not to eradicate things that are bad, quote unquote, but to know how to deal with them. And if you can manage to understand that, your life will become a lot easier. Okay, but if you're freaking out about things that momentarily show up to the point of giving up hope, you really need to examine on, what kinds of expectations you have from this world of it constantly being perfect. It ain't never going to happen. Sorry to burst your bubble, anybody out there. Nor is it necessary. You can have a really high frequency lifestyle throughout your life. Okay, all the while, yes, encountering certain things that you do not like. And nor is it a reflection on the overall state of your being or who you really are and this and that and the other. These things just happen in life sometimes. Okay, now if it's repeated and if it's personal relationships, personal business, etc., and you're not learning those lessons, okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about here and there you'll encounter some frustration, some people that do not treat you politely and this and that. But if it's repeated and personal, then yes, we need to examine certain things. And still, I'm not introducing self-blame or blaming anybody. body. It's just examination of information is all. And there is no such thing as you doing something wrong. All you're doing throughout your life is you're learning. Hello, how are you? Good morning. And it's okay to learn. How the fuck else are you going to learn if you're not fucking up sometimes? And it's not really fucking up. It's just, not making the right choice, perhaps, or not having the right reaction, or not having the right idea about what this actually represents. Okay? So again, toning down the freaking out would really help you. And then the universe understands that you're consistent. You need to be consistent in that this is the manifestation that I want. And even though momentarily things show up in my reality that I do not prefer, I know my truth 100%. So it doesn't sway me one way or the other, you see. But if you don't know that the universe is on your side, and if you're so disappointed in yourself that momentarily you reacted and you think this is the end of the world and you spiral out of control, then, it's a problem. And lastly, I want to say this, and this is a really important point, and actually what really inspired me to record all of this. And in thinking so, like for the 5 minutes that I was thinking about, I wrote down other notes. No action in the 3D is also maybe a reason why you're not manifesting. And I know this completely blows in the face of everything you hear out there, okay, in terms of manifesting and this and that. But it's true. If you don't take any action in the 3D, you are not going to manifest shit that you really want. Now, you might say, well, Anna, you say many times in your video, you don't have to lift a finger to make anything appear in your reality. That is true. But once you already have a certain momentum going, okay, once you already have practiced your vibration of, let's just say, being successful in your business, once you already have had a track record of making things appear out of thin air, again, everything that I recorded on my channel and will record is assuming that you have had a history or you're on a trajectory of self-development that is advanced somewhat, that you've already done the work, okay? This is not for first-timers. I'm not a fucking first-timer. I don't talk like a first-timer. Okay. And if it's irritating to you, I'm really fucking sorry, but I can only speak from the point of view that I have. Okay. So if you're not taking any action in 3D and waiting for your manifestation in order to gain confidence in your manifestation, it ain't going to happen. In other words, if you want to create $1 million and you're sitting in bed every single day, you ought to lift your ass out of the bed and start a company, okay? Figure out what product you're going to deliver, okay? Get up early in the morning. Get to know what kind of things you can do, classes you can take, etc., right? If you want to lose weight, yes, it's great that you're going to visualize and feel your body is already thin, but are you changing any healthy habits, introducing that stuff into your lifestyle? Okay, you cannot eat pizza 24/7 and lose weight. Okay, that's not even like nice to your body or to your soul or anything. So it needs to be the marriage of two. Okay, the imagination and the intention, but also the 3D action. I would not have been, as like people always say to me, oh, it's easy for you because, you've been manifesting for so long. Yeah, you know why I've been manifesting for so long? Because I've been working hard at it. I had intention and the universe supported me in my, intention. And I was demonstrating to the universe that I'm serious about my intention by backing it up with actions. If I was just sitting in bed all fucking day, none of this shit would have ever happened, because I think some of you are under the impression that you can just sit all day and visualize and manifest $1 million. No, darling, no. You're going to have to become a master and then manifest it this way. In the beginning, you're going to have to prove to the universe that you're serious about the shit that you want to create. So at no point did I say that you can quit your job and sit around on the couch and do nothing and the $1 million will pop up. No. Okay, in my coaching, whenever I work with somebody, we develop a plan of how they want to quit their job step by step, what kinds of other actions they can take, what other careers they can engage themselves in, etc., etc. Never do I say to them, oh yeah, you can just sit and do nothing and materialize $1 million. That would be insane. That's insanity, darling, insanity. And later on, once you're on a roll, yes, of course you can sit in bed and manifest many millions of dollars in your fucking sleep. But the 3D action is absolutely necessary. If you're acting like you are desperate and you're crying, this is no way to manifest your SP. Okay, you ought to be taking care of yourself. Okay, presenting yourself as a very valuable person, not investing in crying, but maybe investing in coaching. Okay, figuring out what still bothers you. Why do you take that on yourself, that this person has the right to define your self-worth, or anybody for that matter, not only that SP. Okay, have you done your hair today? Have you done your makeup? If you're a woman, have you been dressing nicely? Have you been taking yourself seriously? Or are you simply depressed? And this is not a demonstration then of somebody who's ready to be in a healthy, productive, wonderful relationship. You are the captain of the ship. You are the golden Buddha. So if the fucking CEO shows up unshowered, for the sake of the example, and depressed in whatever we have to create this day, in our universe, can you imagine the kind of manifestations that would produce themselves? Probably not much. So you need to show up with an action plan and back it up with your actions. Your appearance. Yes, the kinds of phone calls you're making, the kinds of people you're interacting with, the kind of energy you're emitting into the world. All of this matters very much, because the universe pays attention to the kinds of 3D actions that you take. If you don't take any action in the 3D, the universe will think that this is just a fucking pipe dream to you. That you're not taking yourself seriously. Why should it take you seriously? In other words, you got to start acting like the person who has everything you already, you're saying that you want, that you already have that shit. And if you do have $1 million in your bank account, if you are the CEO of that company or whatever the fuck you're working on, or you have your SP, you're married to them, then how are you acting now? How are you feeling now? Are you still being down on yourself, or are you making steps to change yourself into the version that you want to be, that you say you want to be? Everything else is a fucking waste of time, may I tell you. The number one priority every single day for all of you should be definitely, as per my life, to become that version, okay, of yourself that has all these things, and to become that version who is so magnetically attractive, there is no chance that you will not attract everything under the sun that you say you want. Hopefully this helps somebody. All the information from me is below. Until next time, ciao, ciao.